Good afternoon. It's Melissa with Meraki Healing Arts. And so this is a part 2 to a read I did this morning with the Telepathy Oracle deck. And there was a card that came out that had a word that I kind of stumbled over. And it really drew me in to reflect on it and to look into the definition of the word, different variations of the word, and exactly what that word meant. I knew that it was important. And so I kind of did a deep dive today while I was at work. Didn't really have time to post anything up about it, so I'll show you the card, and then we'll talk about some of the definitions of that word, sublimated and sublime, sublimation, what that all means. So we'll go back over the read real quick, and then we'll do a deep dive into the process of sublimation. So the first card out in the read was deep. Look deeply within and discover your soul purpose in relationships. So talked a little bit about how oftentimes we are a catalyst to other people's soul growth, and they can be a catalyst to ours as well. So you might spark some kind of spiritual growth with others, especially if you're on your spiritual path, if you're going through ascensions, DNA upgrades, downloads, all of that kind of in your purpose and are aware of it and doing the work. So it's asking you to look deeply and discover or think about your soul purpose in relationships. Be aware of how you affect others with your interactions, your words and deeds with them. And the next card out was the one that had me stumble in, and that was Spirit. Your spirit is about to be sublimated, and we'll do a deep dive and talk about that. The next card was Clarity. Take a moment to think about your situation to figure it out. So I'm really going within, reflecting, using your logic, not just your emotions, to gain clarity and discernment on whatever situation that it is that you're talking about. Since this was talking about your soul purpose in relationships, then I think, a core relationship is at the front of what you're looking at. If you're in a relationship or a partnership, you're looking at your soul purpose in that. And if not, just a general sense of the relationships in your soul tribe, in your family, maybe people that you're in contact with daily in your work or working in your purpose. You need some clarity on your role as you're operating in your purpose. And the final card out in this spread was Recognition. The universe will help you recognize signs and miracles. So that was the quick read. And now we're going to do a deep dive into the card that says your spirit is about to be sublimated. And sublimated, really comes from, and my first thought was coming from the word sublime, blissful, joyful. So wanted to look into that. Let's see, I wrote all kinds of notes and they're all kind of scribbled up. So so one definition was a sublime experience or transcendence, an experience that goes beyond ordinary life, touching on spiritual or emotional realms and connecting you with something greater than yourself. Sublimation comes from the Latin sublime, sublimes, meaning high or higher. Sublimation is considered the final skill of emotional mastery. Other definitions are such excellence, beauty, power, or grandeur as to inspire awe, admiration, and wonder, to elevate to a high degree of moral or spiritual purity or excellence, something of high moral or intellectual value. Excellent, supreme, noble, exalted, something of high intellectual, moral, or spiritual worth. Talks about transcendence. A sublime feeling is an experience of awe, wonder, and transcendence caused by something so vast, powerful, or beautiful that it inspires a mixture of admiration and fear, often associated with nature, like a mountain range or a stormy sea, that's so beautiful you're just in awe of it. But it can be evoked by art, music, or ideas that feel overwhelming yet uplifting. The experience can make one feel both insignificant and profoundly connected to something greater than ourselves. A sense of facing something so vast and powerful that it transcends or goes beyond our capacity to fully comprehend it. An experience that I can speak to that I'm really, that really resonates, that this is being in the sublime, being sublimated, was years ago. I participated in a class with one of my local guides and mentors and mediums, and her name is Laura Lynn. You can find her. I know she has a platform on Facebook. I don't think she's really delved into YouTube or TikTok that much, but she's an amazing medium, psychic, angel reader, just beautiful, powerful, pure soul. Anyway, I did a class with Laura Lynn, and during that class we were opening our third eye chakra using a crystal, and we had a little activity before the meditation where we thought about wanting to connect to the Most High, our spirit guides, our animal guides. I think that day that we talked about visiting the Akashic records, and yeah. So then we did a meditation, listened to some music, opened our third eye chakra using the crystal, and during that experience, I was able to go to some place that I would call absolutely sublime. So beautiful, so powerful, so overwhelming. And it was what a lot of people call, or what I've learned is called the pleroma. So it's, how can I explain it? This vast expanse. I walked through, went in meditation, went to my safe space, which is usually trees and a forest and willow trees, and then traveled up some stairs and went to the Akashic records and saw my books, and then walked through the hallway of the Akashic records and out a door, and stepped out, and I knew that it was kind of the great beyond, and I was expecting to see, like a beautiful night sky with, stars all over. And I only saw that for a brief second. And then what I saw and felt as I stepped off into the unknown, and there was just, like a hair fraction of a hair of a fraction, however you want to say it, just a split second of fear of like, I'm stepping out into the unknown, and, like that, am I gonna fall kind of thing, or, but no, I was fully supported and held and floating out there in the pleroma, and in just this golden and white light that was so warm, it felt like you were just in the sunlight, and there was so much love and joy and peace from the divine that it truly was overwhelming. It brought me to tears. It was just the love of Creator. So this card, and delving into that definition of the sublime and bliss and peace, going through a transformation, a transformative process, a metamorphosis of sublimation, to get to a place of inner peace and pure bliss, is just such a powerful and beautiful thing. So I couldn't not come on and talk about it. So if you're going through a deep spiritual process, looking deep within, looking at your soul purpose, really, really connecting with the Most High, and going through a sublimation, that is huge. That is so huge. So we'll talk about some other definitions, and what that means, so you can truly have a better understanding of the process you're going through and how you are going to get there. So, sublimation, another definition of sublimation is a jump in consciousness. Some spiritual traditions see sublimation as a jump in a level of consciousness, shifting your focus from the material world to the spiritual and leading to states of bliss and inner peace. All of that was a Google search on just Google. And then I found this beautiful article. I'll put a link in the comments. It's from hridayayoga.com, HRIDAYA-yoga-period.com. So I'll put a link. Sublimation, the refinement of energy. Sublimation is the transformation in the nature or quality of energy. It represents the inner movement of energy through which that energy is refined or transformed into a superior form of energy with an elevated frequency. So this is what we're talking about with ascension and moving to a higher vibration, is sublimation. So this progresses either level by level through one chakra up to the next, to the next, to the next, thus ascending in a progressive fashion, or directly from a higher to a lower chakra. So from, say, your crown or your third eye to your root or your solar plexus. It might also happen at the level of the same chakra. So say you're working in your root chakra or your solar plexus or your heart or your throat, and it's bringing like a refinement or a subtlety to that chakra. So it's balancing. It's balancing and raising the vibration of all of the chakra centers, and true transformation in your energy to a higher frequency. And that process, this again is from the article from Hridayayoga, Yoga, and I could be pronouncing that wrong, so just bear with me. So the process of sublimation involves the modification of the frequency of the vibrations of the initial energy. For example, through sublimation, repressed sacral or sexual energy is directed to other non-sexual aspects of our being, our general vitality, our health, our well-being, or into the psychological, mental, or spiritual domain. Sublimation can be compared to what happens to the energy generated by an electrical power plant. So an electrical power plant takes energy and it transports it through the wires and transforms it through a wide range of phenomena and processes such as heat, sound, light, and magnetism. So that's what is going on in your chakras and in your energy. So in the same way that high tension lines transport that electrical energy in order to be used according to need, your sacral or sexual energy is being transported to the different levels of our being through our nadis or energy channels. So if you are celibate by choice and on your spiritual path, that isolation and the practice of celibacy and balancing your chakras is then opening you up to use your so-called sacred sexual energy for creation of other things. So that could be creating a more healthy body, a more healthy mind, a more healthy spirit. So it's a major, did I say major? Transformation of the energy, because you are no longer stuck in the lower vibration of lust, lack, want, and need, and you're redirecting, balancing, and channeling that energy completely different. So, yeah. So a lot of us are going through that, and you don't know that's what it's called, but that's what it is. So, and we have one big final definition. Did I get it all? Did I get it all? I think so. Yeah. So, and then the last big defining page was like an AI definition on Google. So sublimation. Spiritually, sublimation is the process of transforming intense, often forbidden or raw energy like sexual or emotional energy into higher, more constructive or creative forms. It's not about denying the energy, but rather refining and redirecting it to cultivate spiritual growth, creative expression, and higher consciousness. So, for example, channeling your sexual energy into spiritual devotion, or transforming negative emotions into creative works and acts of service. The key aspects of sublimation are transformation of energy, which involves taking raw, potent energy, for example, your libido, and elevating it to a higher frequency or state. The next key aspect of sublimation is redirection and refinement. Instead of acting on raw impulses, energy is channeled into activities like meditation, artistic creation, or religious devotion. The next key aspect of sublimation is spiritual growth. By redirecting this energy, individuals can cultivate traits like self-discipline, self-love, and spiritual awareness. The next key aspect of sublimation is psychological and spiritual connection. It bridges the psychological concept of sublimation with spiritual practices, suggesting that the process can facilitate spiritual awakening and a connection to the higher self, God, or the Most High. And sublimation, another key aspect of sublimation are the practices. For example, tantric practices like Uddiyana Bandha to move energy up the spine. So that's a big Kundalini yoga type process. Or taking a vow of celibacy to channel desire towards a divine connection, such as the case of some priest, monks, or spiritual leaders. So if that's what you're doing, your vow of celibacy, so that you can connect with the Most High, channel that energy into your purpose and your creations. I can't even tell you how huge that is. So hopefully, if you're at that point, you're deep into your spiritual work, and maybe at the beginnings of this, or just another huge adjustment in your frequency. So yeah, So you can channel your sexual energy into other creative passion projects. So for your health, channeling your sexual frustration into exercise grounds you, gives you dopamine, gives you all of those wonderful feel-good chemicals, makes your body healthier, makes your mind clearer. You're able to focus better, you're able to sleep better. So you're not expending all of that energy in sexual endeavors. And this is, when you're in a vow of celibacy, it's you usually are changing or denying sexual partnership or situationships with people that are not spiritually aligned, meaningless, pointless sexual connections. So you can also channel that sacred, sacral sexual energy into writing, creating works of visual art, creating music that you write, sing, produce, plays, books, even podcasts or recording that are helping others. There's so many things that you can use with that beautiful, powerful, magnetic, creative energy for yourself. And as you're balancing and redirecting all of that energy and creating other wonderful things in your life, you're raising your energetic vibration, because you're no longer just stuck down here in your in your lower regions. We'll just leave it at that. So yeah, so beautiful, powerful read. I think this is probably going to be it's going to bore some people, it's going to be over the heads of others, but for those of you that are there, know that you're looking deep, and in the process of being sublimated or in sublimation, you will have the clarity that you need for the situations in your life, and you will be able to more easily recognize the signs and symbols from the universe. Those downloads are going to come quicker. Your discernment is going to be swifter, and you'll be able to really listen to your intuition and your guides. So yeah, a lot of you are there. So okay, I will put the link to the articles. I will try to put the link in the comment section, and proud of you if you're there and you're doing this work. Powerful stuff. So, all right, that's part 2 of our sublimation read. I hope you have a wonderful night. I'm going to take a break from being so deep in thought over this and channeling, and I'll try to come back later with some a little more down-to-earth kind of reads for everybody, but we'll see how that goes. Spirit's giving me what they're giving me, so have a beautiful night.